Ukraine has a rich history, diverse culture, and remarkable resilience. As Europe's largest country, it has been shaped by centuries of civilizations. Today, Ukraine's immense cultural heritage is at risk. Since the occupation of Crimea in 2014 and the full-scale invasion in 2022, attacks on Ukraine's cultural identity have been part of the war strategy. Museums, heritage sites, and other cultural organizations have been severely damaged. And many artists have been displaced, joined the fight, or lost their lives. Despite this, Ukraine's cultural sector remains strong. Communities are protecting heritage, documenting destruction, and working towards reconstruction. Efforts to decolonize and decommunize are also gaining momentum. In December 2022, Ukraine became a focal country in Dutch international policy, reinforcing the commitment to preserving its cultural legacy, fostering exchange, and supporting reconstruction. At the heart of international cultural policy are the Ministry of Education, Culture and Science and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, working together with Dutch culture to shape a strong and inclusive cultural framework. Dutch culture's key partners in Ukraine are the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Kyiv and the Ukrainian Institute. The Embassy's cultural department focuses on establishing international collaborations, supporting Ukraine's cultural sector, and preserving its cultural heritage. The Ukrainian Institute, affiliated with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, facilitates international connections, with dedicated departments for various cultural sectors. Their Inside UA website provides a comprehensive overview of Ukrainian artists, institutions, and projects, serving as a valuable resource for international collaboration. There are many other key organizations that provide structural support, funding, or coordination, both within Ukraine's cultural sector and the Netherlands. For an overview, please visit our website.
My name is Marjo van Schaik. I work and live partly in Kyiv and partly in Amsterdam. And on both places I work as an artist, designer, and as a strategy culture manager. And I do research and I write articles. As an artist, I'm working with waste material, and that inspires me to show that this waste wool I work with, can be so comforting, can be so meaningful, but also to bring a story that art really can play a role without being immediately innovative or needing a lot of new techniques, but bringing back the old techniques and then tell a new story with it. So it's always for me about storytelling, connecting stories from the Ukrainian stories perspective and the Dutch perspective, but also connecting old techniques in today's design. There is a lot of exchange in knowledge, in approaches, but mostly in inspiration. The feedback I get from Ukrainians on my projects is they are touched. So something is happening with the way I work or what I make, or it's kind of retelling a story or doing it from another perspective, which makes it very relevant. They go further on it. And I think this is, for me, of course, it's very rewarding. I learn a lot because I realize that my perspective is so completely different, although on the surface it might seem sometimes completely the same. So it's enriching both ways, but it's always touching to feel how much we can set in motion. The funny thing is, that the most important tip I would like to give at the moment is do something, do projects. So don't spend too much time in talking about or, yes, exchanging knowledge. It's all important, but the most important is working together, making things, doing things, because that makes it possible for Ukrainians to travel abroad and to see again things. And it's the other way for Dutch artists. It makes it possible to go to Ukraine. I think it's also interesting for us to get to know how it is to live in a country at war, and that you can work and that you can make beautiful work. It's not that life stops. It goes on, but we have to completely reinvent and to find out what are the limitations and what are the possibilities.
My name is Anastasiia Manuliak. I'm head of visual arts at the Ukrainian Institute, a public institution promoting Ukrainian culture internationally. I'm also representative of Ukrainian Institute in the initiative named Zapravka. This initiative was established in 2020 by three key institutions working with mobility schemes in Ukraine. Apart from Ukrainian Institute, it's also Ukrainian Cultural Foundation and EU Program House of Europe. And the aim of Zapravka initiative is to promote Ukrainian artistic residency internationally and to archive, document and learn about experiences of Ukrainian residencies during the full-scale invasion, but also before February 2022. There are a lot of challenges that Ukrainian artists and cultural organizations are facing, apart from challenges connected to living at times of war, like constant shellings, blackouts, stress connected to fear for your relatives, for safety, and so on. There are also challenges connected to teams being relocated. There are people who are living abroad. A lot of artists and cultural actors, both male and female, join the military, which also does not allow them to continue their artistic practice. And that's why for teams of cultural institutions, it's very difficult to continue operating. I think that both international and Ukrainian partners now feel that working more long-term, thinking strategically and working more sustainable is something that is in the core of joint cooperations. Ukrainian cultural sector feels the great support that international partners are providing. It's not only the funding, but it's also a great interest and motivation to learn more about Ukraine, to understand the context, to understand the history of Ukraine, the history of Ukrainian art. And it's very much appreciated by us. And I think that what international partners can do is to give Ukrainians the possibility to be visible, to speak for themselves, to have this voice on international arena, which was silenced for many years due to many reasons. And by this, to understand the context in which we live in better, but also to understand the so many connections that we have with our neighbors, our partners, not only in Europe, but also worldwide.
To explore how you might engage, visit the Ukraine country page on the Dutch Culture website. This page provides practical information, background, and examples of existing initiatives. It is intended to inform and inspire, and to help identify opportunities for cooperation. Beyond financial support, cultural collaboration is a way to stand with Ukraine and to learn from one another in the process.